If you're someone who's type B or neurodivergent or has pretty strong ADHD like me, then this video is for you. So this is pretty different than my normal content that I usually post. This one isn't going to be necessarily finance related, but it is related in a way. Let me explain. So for those who don't know, I've been a financial analyst for a while now, and I've dedicated a lot of time in my personal and professional life to understand everything I can about money, how it works, personal finance, financial literacy. That's what I'm really passionate about, and that's something that really gets my gears going, if you know what I mean. And I just recently started this YouTube channel where I wanted to teach personal finance and financial literacy and stuff like that. But I don't want to say that my advice is wrong, because frankly, I don't think it is. But as someone who likes to obsess over things, I started looking at like strategies and all this stuff about social media and content. And, you know, the biggest thing is consistency. Yeah, and I can't say that I've really done that, but I've found that I have been hiding behind my expertise. I have been treating it as if all I have to offer is the knowledge that I know and the stuff that I want to teach. Yet I don't necessarily follow a lot of that myself. I do in a way, but again, I'll explain. You know, I am actually in the process of making an outline to a video right now about how to pay off your debt and the differences between the debt snowball method and the debt avalanche method and popular debt payoff strategies. But I have over $130,000 in just student loans, and that doesn't count the other $5,000 or so that I have in credit card debt. Why am I giving advice if I'm in debt? I felt like that was the theme, not just for finance, but for multiple things. I can teach people things all day long if I want to, but if I'm not the embodiment of what I'm teaching, or if I'm not the embodiment of what I'm preaching, then who is really going to connect with me? And, you know, I'm not going to say that that's why I only have 21 subscribers or anything like that. I never thought I would get to 10 in the first place. And, you know, even this is a big wake-up call for me that, you know, maybe it is possible. And I think it's midnight right now. This is what I'm spending my Friday night doing instead of, you know, doing anything else, because I wanted to go to bed early, but this is literally all I could think about. And if I've been thinking about it this much, then, you know, I figured, why not just do it? And I don't want to hide behind the expertise. I don't want to not be the embodiment of everything that I'm talking about. So I've decided to start a new series, which is this video. This is the introduction of this series. And this is what I'm calling the Lifemaxxing series. I use Lifemaxxing because I'm brain rotted. I'm chronically online, so all the looks maxing stuff, all that stuff, I know the verbiage for it, I know the words for it, and also I just think maxing is funny. So I want to do Lifemaxxing, where I improve my life and I become the embodiment of the things that I want to preach and the things that I want to teach people about, because I am not that right now. So why would anyone resonate with me? Why would anyone connect with me? Why would anybody want to watch me if I'm not living proof of anything that I talk about? And today, Friday, July 25th at 11:47 p.m., I want to change that. As I mentioned, as someone who struggles a lot with neurodivergence, specifically with pretty strong ADHD, and I'm a type B person, I procrastinate, I, you know, lose focus a lot. I do all these things that I, you know, not proud of, but I, you know, made it through high school and college, and yet after that, everything just kind of falls apart. And I find that my biggest issue is complacency. Complacency is my biggest op, honestly. It's my biggest hater, and it's the thing I struggle with the most. And complacency has crept its way into every aspect of my life. Fitness, health, work, finances, just everything. And I think I want this to be the start of something that people can follow along with, but also, yeah, like I said, follow along with and, watch me do it so that people can resonate with what I'm saying more, but also do it with me because I know that there's a lot of people like me. I know that I'll try really hard at something for like a few weeks and then I'm like, oh, I got it down. I don't need to try as hard anymore. And then slowly but surely, effort, the intention, the quality just slowly degrades over time. And again, that has crept into every aspect of my life, and that's not something I necessarily enjoy. That's not something I'm necessarily proud of. And it has been brought to my attention that, there's multiple aspects that I want to improve on. And my goal for this series is to pick one thing, set tangible, realistic goals for that thing, document the journey of me getting to those goals, and then move on to the next one. So this first one I want is work, my 9 to 5. Again, I work as a financial analyst. I had a conversation Monday with my manager and, I had really good numbers. She said some of the best numbers, starting at the beginning of this year, and I was doing really well. And then slowly I just stopped caring. I stopped trying as hard. I stopped putting in a lot of effort. I stopped being intentional with everything that I was doing. And I started to fall behind on all my projects. And now I'm missing deadlines. Now I'm completely making mistakes that shouldn't have been made. I'm not sending things when they're supposed to be sent. I'm missing emails. I'm just not doing what I used to do. And that's something that doesn't sit right with me. And, if I don't have a job, I can't pay for literally anything. And not trying at work, sure, go ahead. I'm a corpo slave. You can call me a 9 to 5 slave. I'm a rat. I'm in the rat race. I'm in the matrix. I don't care. A 9 to 5 helps me with my structure. It keeps me accountable on things-ish. Because like school, it gave me a set time frame of this is what I'm doing and I can schedule my day around it. And it's just the consistency that I enjoy. And I also like being able to afford to live. And that is what this job does for me. And I think even if I hit 1 million subscribers tomorrow, I would still go to work. I would still work and retire like normal because I can't imagine myself not working. It's just something I enjoy doing. And I like the job that I have. And I have a really, really big fear of getting fired one day because that's what happened in my last job. So that is the first thing that I wanted to do. So this Lifemaxxing series is going to start with work maxing. And I'm going to document, I've already recorded some things that I may or may not overlay into this, but I've already started during this week, documenting things and showing what I'm doing to improve at work. And I've already made a lot of progress on the things that were past due and catching up on things that I've missed, but I'm not there yet. And after I create these goals, after I create these realistic and tangible goals and quantifiable goals, then my goal is to probably move on to my health and diet and fitness. I used to be 180 pounds. That was the lowest I've ever been. I used to be 265. I initially lost, like a year ago, I lost 85 pounds. And then when I met my current girlfriend, I got complacent and I stopped caring so much about my physical appearance. And I slowly started coming back up in weight. And now I'm sitting at around like 215. That is also not something that I'm proud of. So I'm still thinking if I want to do both of them at the same time because I work on specific days, obviously Monday through Friday, and my workout routine is Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday. I'm trying to think of how to balance both because the fitness one I am prioritizing as well because it's something that's been long overdue. I've been saying I've been wanting to lose weight for over a year now and it just hasn't happened. This is something that I'm doing selfishly, I'll admit, because this is my way of keeping myself accountable. if other people can see me not reaching my goals, that embarrasses me and that makes me feel shame. And I don't like feeling those things. So if other people can see me, then I'll be forced to stick to these habits that I have been wanting to stick to, but just couldn't, because it's just so hard to focus. I have too many things I think about all day, and it's just pretty hard. But this is the intro to the Lifemaxxing series. The first two that I want to start with, like I said, is work-maxing and fit-maxing. I'm doing this alongside my finance content, my normal finance content. As you can tell, I only have notes, but this isn't very scripted. I wanted this to be more personal and something that people can connect with more than the finance videos, because the finance videos are a lot more, they're not scripted because I can't do scripts, but they're more outlined, they're more structured, and sometimes it does feel like I'm performing for the camera a little bit. But doing this right now with no script, no nothing, just notes on what I've been wanting to do for a while. And literally the only reason I'm doing this right now is because I couldn't sleep, because I just couldn't stop thinking about it, about this Lifemaxxing series. And I figured just set up the camera, put on the mic, and do it right now. This is the start of this. I really hope people can find use out of it, but if not, like I said, if nobody watches this, if I get 0 views on every single video, that's fine too, because I'm documenting it for myself so I can see the results. Because if I don't see the results, I don't know they exist. That's just an object permanence thing that I have. I struggle with it a lot. If I can't see it, I forget it exists. So much food goes bad in the fridge because I don't see it right away, so I forget it's even there. Just neurodivergent ADHD shit that is really embarrassing to say out loud sometimes, but it's the truth. I'm just trying to get my life better. I want to get my life better and stop slacking and stop being complacent in things, and hopefully other people can resonate with that.